Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. I think you're going to be really grateful that you were on the call today. Super excited for what we get to learn. As we were doing our rounds of gratitude before we started the recording, there were a lot of things that were shared that the word power was in it. Power of change, power of prayer, power of visualization, lots of different, the power of vision, the power of forgiveness, just so many different powers were mentioned. And so I'm just going to use that word, powers, gratitude for powers, and we'll just get to see what we learn. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to have a private silent meditation on gratitude for powers, and we'll just see what comes up. So just write down whatever comes to you during this 90-second meditation on gratitude for powers. Begin. All right. The first thing that came to me was superpowers, and I thought of, like all the Marvel comics and all the other DC comics and all the superheroes that are out there. And the first thing that I realized was that there are some powers that are universal, like strength. Some of them, and usually some ability to move fast or to, just like have endless, boundless energy. Others of the skills are, or the superpowers are specific to them, like having, Superman having X-ray vision, or, I can't remember the names of some of them, like Spider-Man, has the ability to spin webs from his hands or whatever. And I also realized that that some of the superheroes were born with a specific skill that they were actually hated or bullied for when they were younger, or like it was something to be ashamed of because they were different. But then as they got to learn, if they were, kind of trained or started learning how to use them, they were able to use them for good, and it became something that people, were super grateful for, and that they themselves, were able to serve people in a much higher way. And that really felt really strongly of truth, that, it's scriptural that we all have weaknesses within us, that we perceive them as weaknesses, just the way that we see them. we want to change who we are because we want to be more like, more normal, quote normal. But literally our weaknesses, what we perceive as our weaknesses, are actually our strengths. And I know that to be true because of the hundreds of people that I've worked with, even, doing purpose calls with people. We identify what their weaknesses are, what they feel, like are something that they would like to change about themselves. And that is actually the best clue that I have to what their natural gifts are, what their strengths are. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I'll share.
Thanks, Melissa.
I love that. I think that weaknesses are just strengths overused. So my comment, I thought of, I've always liked, personality types and, what motivates people. And one personality assessment that I've always really liked is the color code, which talks about what motivates you. And red, the color red, is motivated by power. And when I was really interested in these personality tests, I was like, oh, I am not a red. Like, that is so far away from me. I am not motivated by power. And I would answer those questions, and I would not answer one question to be red because I just so strongly identified that I was not a red. And it's just been so fascinating that as I grow and become the person that I am now, I'm very motivated by power. And it's not the power over people, which is kind of what I was thinking before. It's the power I have to control myself and to keep my power within myself, and not to give my power away to people who influence me. And so I didn't realize it, but I was always giving my power away to the people around me, however they were feeling. If they were, intensely angry or, sad, then I felt like I had to be angry and sad. And it's just been so interesting for me to step into my own power and realize that I get to be whoever I want to be, and I get to choose to feel whatever I want to feel. And it's been very empowering.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing all of that. And, it's interesting, just your decision that you didn't want to be a red, you gave your power away by choosing not to have power. It's so interesting when we, just like I was talking about before, wanting to be something different because we have a perception of what that is, who we are, and, how that's not good. If we fully understand the power that we have within us, we would definitely, make choices to be that at the highest degree, to really step into our power. Thank you. And you can serve people in a much higher way now that you're stepping into that, right? Well, she probably can't.
Yes. Sorry.
I know I kind of caught you off guard. Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
You're fine. Who else would like to share something?
I will. Just real brief what I wrote. What's my superpower, my genius, what empowers me? And there could be a huge long list, and gifts, and realize that all of these gifts come from our Heavenly Father, and the greatest gift is love. So going forward and serving through our gifts and powers, but doing everything, serving with love.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. It sounds like that's one of your superpowers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who else? Okay, Tammy, and then Sylvia.
Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I was reading this talk or this speech by Cleon Skousen, and in the talk, he was talking about how God's power comes because of his honor. And that has really, really stuck with me. And I just wanted to share that. That's all I have to share. the thought that power comes through honor just has been really stuck with me these last couple of weeks, and I just feel like there's a lot to learn from that.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. That I had that very thought too. There's a lot to learn from that. Something to really ponder on. Thank you. Sylvia.
Thinking that sometimes we limit ourselves by not realizing the dynamic power we have within ourselves, which to me is divine, and that we can have this power to self-heal. We have the power to find solutions to every challenge, to rise above it, to live stress-free and worry-free. And this power is available to us every day. That to me is awesome.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you. To realize that we have the power to live, to find solutions, to live stress-free every day. Beautiful. Thank you. Who else? Maybe a couple more shares.
I was listening to Joe Dispenza and a podcast interview that he did specifically about the coronavirus and how we have so much more power to create than we use, and we can, when we choose, instead of focusing on our physical surroundings and just focusing on who we are, we have the power to raise the vibration and the frequency and I don't even know how to say our subconscious, but that's not the right word. Anyway, just to raise our thoughts and our vibration through uniting together through our thoughts. Anyway, I can't describe it really very well right now, but I really appreciate that thought and how we can come together and join with Jesus Christ and tap into our power to create and to use this time to become someone new.
Wow, beautiful. That's exactly the message that I've been sharing with my Safeguard series and my Evolve series that I've been posting on Facebook and all the social media platforms that I'm on. I love what you're saying, that instead of focusing on the circumstances around us, that we focus on, what did you say, who we are, and what a powerful next step. This is, where I feel like this situation that we're in right now has really brought people together, the world together, in a way that we never have been. Everybody's experiencing the same thing. There's like this energy that brings us all together as one right now, and I'm super grateful for it. It's like the only time in history that I know of where everybody is focused on, not focused on, but has, attention on and energy to produce the same results, to create a solution for the same problem. And I love that idea of uniting together through our thoughts and our energy, coming together, especially joining with Jesus Christ, like you're talking about, to truly tap into the power of one, everybody being one. We know how powerful it is when a bunch of people get together and pray for the same thing, how much more powerful that prayer is when we come together. And so I know that we have the power to create something really awesome during this time because of that. Thank you for sharing that. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
Wileen,
Mm-hmm.
I have one other thought. So a couple days ago in some scripture study I was reading scripture that was talking about how people were in darkness because of their unbelief and taking lightly the things that God had given them. And I just, over the past month, with the power alignments and different breakthroughs that I've had with you, I've gotten to a point where I don't feel self-doubt anymore. And that has been such an interesting and such a liberating and freeing place to reach and be. And I'm just starting to experience the power that comes when we simply believe, when doubt is removed. And it's a powerful place to be.
Well, thank you. I totally agree. And, I just want to go back to what you said about like the darkness because of unbelief and taking lightly what God has given us. Confidence, that self-doubt being replaced with confidence in front of God, confidence in God, confidence standing before God, and then gratitude. Instead of taking lightly what God has given us, that we really notice and express gratitude for those things that He's given us. That those two things are really bring power. That enough said. I'm really grateful for you sharing those thoughts, and I've seen that within you as we've been working together, Tammy, that when we get together, it's all about creation now. When self-doubt is removed, you can just run forward in creating whatever you want. It's so awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody that has shared. Let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process. Just go ahead and take a deep breath. And I invite you right now to, as we've been discussing this, I know that you have been becoming more open to know what your superpower is, the power and the genius that is within you, that maybe in the past you've even subdued, either because you wanted to be normal, because you weren't sure how, that would be perceived by other people, or possibly because you were a little bit afraid of it, that maybe this power that you have within you is so big and amazing that you weren't sure if you'd be able to control it if you let it out completely. So whatever the reason, if you have subdued your power in the past, I invite you in this moment, this is a safe place for you to really experiment and to allow yourself to see your power fully, to perceive it, to feel it, to know how you are powerful and the extent of your power. Just allow yourself in this moment to be shown. Allow God to show you who you really are. Open up your mind and your heart and trust that you are capable. That if you are willing to step fully into your power, God will help you to be able to channel it in a way that is good, a way that serves. And just write down whatever is coming to you as you're being shown the fullness of who you are, who you're always meant to be, who you always have been. And as you're becoming more clear with the fullness of your power, what is the limiting belief showing up for you right now? What is the unbelief? What is the doubt that's creeping in? And as you're becoming more aware of possibly a subconscious belief that had been keeping you safe by keeping your power limited, this is the moment of truth right now. This is an opportunity for you to choose. You can continue limiting your power using this limiting belief to keep yourself in check, or you can give yourself permission to allow that power to be fully in you and to develop it to its full capacity. So if you choose to let your power show and shine and become its full capacity, say yes.
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 Awesome. So go ahead and choose some new beliefs that will empower you to be able to let those limiting beliefs just go away. Take the chains off, take the limits off, and allow yourself to be fully in your power. What new beliefs will empower you to be fully you and to express yourself as you always were meant to? To be the person and to express your power in the highest form possible. Just get 2 or 3 new beliefs that will support you in this transition. And as you are now stepping into untethered power, I invite you also to create a new belief that allows you to be safe, to feel like you not have control of your power, but that you are open to even making mistakes, to allow yourself to just be fully in your power and to be guided by your highest power. Allow yourself to be trained, raised up. Make sure those new beliefs allow you the freedom to be able to fully express and be in your humanness, be in your superpower in your humanness, making mistakes until it is perfected. And then what is the one most important thing that you could do today to test that power? And just allow your intuition to tell you the one thing that would give you evidence that this is your power and that it is time for you to begin to fully express it. What's your inspired shortcut today? And final invitation is to send gratitude to God and to the universe for creating you the way that you were created. Express gratitude to your own soul and heart for being you. And gratitude for these natural gifts and genius that you've always possessed and maybe held in check. Just giving gratitude for your willingness to allow them to fully express themselves. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I have about just a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes to share. I do want to also give an invitation to anyone who feels like they need to have a conversation with me, that you can do that at no charge to you. Just go to askwilene.com. That takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. Would love to have that call, especially about this particular subject of untethering your power. It's something that I had to learn the hard way. And I would definitely love to have that conversation with you so that you can step through it quickly, easily, effortlessly, and really step into your full power. And all you have to do is just go to askwilene.com to schedule that time with me. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
Hello?
Hey, Gary.
This is Gary.
Yep, thank you.
I was listening to an interview that was very interesting. It was by Card Guy. and he does cards for casinos, and he became mentally blind, so he couldn't see anything. So he got a mentor who taught him how to play cards, and he played cards for 20 hours a day.
Wow.
So he can get really good. Now he travels the world, meets some of the greatest people. He says, we should apply that same effort into going after what we want. Like, we'll put 1 hour in or 2 hours in. It's about what I got from it is really pushing yourself of what you're capable of. Just pushing it a little bit every day, just a little bit. I can do that extra hour and a half of prayer or worship or whatever. That was very powerful to me, that we are more capable of what we perceive our limits are. So I thought that was powerful.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Absolutely powerful. Thank you. Who else?
I had a thought as I was writing down. I realized that our power is something that is constant. We always have it. It never goes away. It's only affected by our limiting beliefs. So when we have a limiting belief, we don't allow our power to be fully expressed. But it doesn't mean it's gone. It's still there. We just have so much control over how we yield our power. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I love that idea that the power is always there. Our power is constant. And the only thing that limits it is our limiting beliefs. And I think that's super powerful, because it's not like we have to go to school to learn how to increase our power. All we have to do is just take those chains off. Just get rid of the limiting beliefs, and it's there. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we end our call today?
This Scott, I guess my block is I'm blocked to see what my power is. And my unbelief is I can't see it, and it's blocking me to really hone in. And I've done this, thought about my power before, but right now I'm feeling in a spot of a blind block spot of what that is for me.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Scott. And there may be others who are feeling that as well. This is a perfect opportunity to schedule that 15-minute call with me, Scott. So I'm just going to encourage you to go on to askwilene.com, schedule a 15-minute call with me, and we will unblock that.
Which is interesting, because I've thought about doing that, but then the last week I thought, well, maybe another day later on.
Okay, now's the time. I'm going to hold you to it. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everything that has been shared. We'll go ahead and end our call today. Several resources have been mentioned today of talks or books or podcasts or whatever that you've listened to, that you've shared. If you would go to the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and share those links. Sounds like there's lots of really awesome helps that people could go to get some new perspective on this particular subject. So if you'd be willing to post that on our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, I know that would be deeply appreciated. Thank you all for our call today. We'll look forward to being back together 7 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow morning, and love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marlene.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileneBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.